5, 4, 3. Well, greetings one and all. It's actually late evening here in Colorado, and we typically do these live stream broadcasts, and we focus a lot on the idea of production value. But right now, we're really in an emergency situation as far as what's happening, well, around the world, but more specifically right now in Mexico, and more specifically with our alliance with Naciones Ancestrales and Build Back Green Mexico. And we are planning a broadcast on April 13th in regards to Build Back Green and some of the solutions and collaborations with our speaker here in a moment, Hector Benton. But also, besides the long-term vision, recently there's been some really devastating fires that are happening there, and he's on the ground working with that right now. We've also set up a GoFundMe and some other things. But before we go on, I want to welcome Hector Benton just to share a little bit about what's happening there on the ground in Mexico. You there, Hector?
Thank you very much, brother. Love and blessings to everybody. We are been passing through the last 7 days in the situation of fire here on Tepoztlan, Morelos. This has been happening often. If the situations get out of control, and we have more than 105 acres, they get on fire. We have several part already controlled, but we have to do the last processes of these emergencies, natural disasters. When we're close to these situations, the towns, the people, the families, we have to be united, and we have to make sure that everybody's in the right health. My apologize if the situation here has been altering a lot of the energies, because we are in a sacred place in Mexico, and we have to take care of this place. So people like me, Michael Di Martino, and all the aggregation and organizations that we're working together to fight and confrontate this situation of the Tepoztlan on fire. It's been really helpful. It's been tired, as you can see, like my eyes are totally red for all the smoke for all these days that we've been breathing. We've been trying to do these medical visitings to the families who require medical services. We've been trying to help and be working together with National Guard and situations in where the organizations like Liliana Riva Palacios, like the organization of the local juvenile people from the Postlan, and the local mayor is been in the good way now, because we have most of the fire under control. That's one of the situations in where I really want to appoint to everybody. Now there are a lot of fires in California and other places, and it's been a lot of fires. So that's when the real families comes to get together. That's when everybody comes to help each other. That's when where we can realize that until a natural disaster happens is when you can found united. So I really appreciate, Michael, that you put all this unification, these platforms, through this opportunity and channels. So we are here to fight the fight. And again, Ahati, thank you very much, brother.
Right. And so this is what's I want people to know, sometimes, especially if we're in the area of these climate disasters, wildfires, floods. I mean, we just saw the horrific earthquake in Myanmar and Thailand. And of course, what's happening with hurricanes, even right now in North America. But like you said, this area of Tepoztlan, Mexico is a very special sacred area, lots of forests, and it's really a hub of many eco villages and people living much closer to the earth and the elements. And as you represent, we're also in partnership with you and Naciones Ancestrales, because for us to do this work, we want to work with organizations that are doing the work, and people within government and government organizations. But as you know, we always put the leadership and the wisdom in the hands of the indigenous communities. So what is happening with the fire right now, and what are some of the items? I know we have a list on the GoFundMe campaign. What are some of the items besides funding that you need to be able to continue to do the work that you're doing?
Okay, like right now, we know that we have a list of items for the medical cares in where we've been using it for the people, for the firefighters, for the people who is being volunteering and helping in us, the fire. And we know there is gonna be another different list tomorrow because we're gonna be fighting and contemplating those breeding problems from the families from the local community. So we have to make it sure that we can have, some of the medical supplies that we need here for some of the paramedics. I mean, we're not a big town. We're not more than 3,000 people here. And we know the situations of the ambulance and the firefighters. They're really restricted to get here. So that's why local people and associations like us, we're getting like different type of donations, or people who are around and close to here, doctors who want to come in and be in the campaign with us, treat the families, treating the kids, treating the elders, and making sure that we can have electrolytes, we can have enough water, we can have enough food to supply these families who are being affected by the fires in the health problem situations. So besides that, it's good that we don't have any lost in houses because everything is prevented by the families, by the local people who we protect the different areas because they're little different villages and little different houses around here. So the thing is the community is really united, and we have to make sure that we can take care of the people who are being fighting the fire already, that we already have control, 75, 80% control it, but it's being putting a new fires day by day. That we have to make sure that these people can have enough gasoline on his vehicles, can have enough food to do all the labor time they do 12, 16 hours every day to work on the areas to keep the fires, off. So this is in where we are right now, and again, making sure that we can be grateful with all the people who's gonna be helping, who's gonna be following, and say like the best blessings to all the families in situations here in Tepoztlan. So, brothers and sisters, I know that we are in these situations, and when we have to be united, we have to make sure what we're doing all together. From my side, I'm on the front line trying to make sure that everything is organized, all the people start getting the right situation with the medical searches, and again, making sure that the connections and the families around the world can be in the same, because today could be here, tomorrow could be Colorado or other place, and we have to be all united.
Absolutely. And we want to honor you for, again, the voice and the wisdom of the indigenous people there in Mexico, but also for taking a role of leadership to help organize and facilitate these things. So even for people who watch this might think, well, this is in Mexico. We're to the point where we have to really work together and support each other. We can't just count on government or um, various types of leaders within government to always be able to do what needs to be done. And sometimes that's just a very small band-aid on something that's a bigger issue. So I do want to let everyone know we have a GoFundMe campaign. You can look under Build Back Green Mexico. This is particularly for emergency response. We've already had success generating some funds. You can also PayPal directly. We'll put the link and the QR code to Hector and his team there on the ground in Mexico. We've also, again, had success with Hector getting people to support that. And if need be, we can also do Venmo and Zelle. And we can also offer, since this is humanitarian and nonprofit, if people really need, we can offer some nonprofit donation tax exemptions on your donation to be able to get the work done. So all of that will be here in the thread. And again, not necessarily our best production here, but what's important is that we're working in real time using this technology to build bridges and to connect with all of these things that are happening, and specifically right now in the incredible community of Tepoztlan there in Mexico. So before we conclude, since this is a live broadcast and we're going to be sharing this link, and again, we have our next official Build Back Green Mexico meeting on Sunday, April 13th. But is there anything else you'd like to share before we send this message out to our brothers and sisters and community around the world?
Yeah, of course. And my experience with this situation here in the Tepoztlan, it's trying to see the good and the benefits of the mother of nature situations. So if we can regreen Tepoztlan with the projections that we have to convert CO2 in a new panorama for the indigenous communities and build some of the circulatory economy to the indigenous communities and through the indigenous communities like these places is the opportunity that we need to again put our paths together in a green back Mexico, in where we can help places with natural disasters like Acapulco, Oaxaca, Sonora, and now Tepoztlan. So that's why I see this like a big opportunity to focus on the way in where we can help not just one pixel, all Mexico with different projectations in where we can build the projection of the CANAF that we can talk later in the future, brother. So we can, tell our brothers and sisters about what we're doing with indigenous communities and entrepreneur projects that we got together. But for now, I just want to say thank you to everybody and send the prayer up to the sky, the Great Spirit, and of course, reminding you that we're working together right now with the mayor of Tepoztlan to make sure that we can put this projection of the climatology situation and helping this reforestation for the hills. And again, working together with your help and of course our brothers and sisters in all the agrupations they are, so we can have a precedent opportunity for the indigenous communities in Mexico. So my thought on this one is let's see the good situations from the bad disasters of Mother of Nature. How we can keep helping Mother of Nature be regarding those natural disasters. If we got some fire on the heat, so let's reuse that soil and that land to make it sure that we can grow, the right plants to convert the CO2 and new oxygen. So again, thank you very much, brother. Let's keep in the path. Let's keep working together in these situations. I'm gonna be here for any online broadcasts we want to do and keep informed to all our brothers and sisters. So,
Great. Thank you so much. And you brought up such a good point, because part of doing this Build Back Green and this regenerative work is first is responding to these natural disasters of fire, again, water, flooding, hurricane. But with that, looking at new designs and new paradigm thinking in order to work as a community to bring back sustainable and green and regenerative solutions. And really, that's what Build Back Green we're really focused with you on. But in this case, we're doing the emergency response piece as part of the long effort to build back Green Mexico. So with this fire, it only accelerates the importance of timing right now. We can't just wait and sit on our hands and talk anymore. It's time for action. But it really brings to light the idea of how do we repair? How do we become more resilient for these situations? How do we look at things differently, plan differently? How do we work with the land development differently? And then also to be able to create these greener, more quality of health places for our community. So thank you very much for your time. And I'll be posting this here momentarily. And I'm going to put the link into the chat for GoFundMe and the PayPal and that other information. I will say PayPal goes directly right to Hector in Mexico. And then if you are interested in a tax deduction or other things like that, you can also go through Earthstock, the foundation. So I thank you for your time, and we'll continue our discourse. And this is our first kind of live broadcast of this. So I really appreciate your time. Much love and respect to you, brother, there in Mexico, and all that you do with ancestral nations. And we look forward to the success of our collaboration. And everyone has to get involved. Everyone has to become a part of being the solution. They say you're either part of the problem or you're part of the solution. So it's time to be part of the solutions. And thank you so much for all the work that you're doing there on the ground.
DP, love and blessings, everybody. DP, thank you.
Okay, blessings.